Whoa.
I know, I messed it up.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so write two equations that govern this situation. What doesn't make sense?
I just didn't. I thought about it backwards. It didn't make sense.
Alright, does anybody have one equation? What's
Yeah.
one equation that governs this situation?
Yeah.
27.5p plus 3n.
Okay, well, I can hear you said. Guys, listen up, please. Rebecca, what'd you have?
21 equals 0.75p plus 3n.
21 equals.
Yeah.
So, 21 equals what?
0.75p as in pencils.
Okay, plus
3n.
3n. Okay, so that's one equation, right? Where did 21 come from? It's how much she spends, right? Okay, what's the other equation? What's the other equation? Okay, what part of this is for the other equation? So we said we already used this, this, and this, right?
Two more.
Okay, so the two more part. So our next equation comes from here. She buys 2 more notebooks than boxes of pencils, right? So what is, if she has 2 more notebooks than boxes of pencils, that means 2 equals something, right?
Yeah.
What does 2 equal?
Oh, P minus 9.
Okay, what do you think? What does she have more, notebooks or pencils, Faith? Notebooks. So is it P minus N or N minus P? N minus P. Assuming N is the notebooks and P is the pencils. So those are our two equations, right? Right? So now we're going to solve these using what?
Substitution.
No!
Graphing.
Finding a solution to the situation below by
Graphing.
graphing. So we're going to solve them using graphing. So all we need the slide for was making our equations. This is our little scenario. So this is my solution, or sorry, this is my system, right? I want to solve by graphing. So if I'm going to graph something to find the solution, what's my first step? I need to do what?
You need to
Pick a
solve.
Y.
We need to what?
Pick a Y.
Pick a y. All right? Just in case you don't have them written down in your notes. Over there. So we got to pick a y, right? Which variable do you guys want to be y?
N.
N. Okay. Doesn't matter which one. So step 1, pick a y. We're going to say y equals n, or y is, we shouldn't say y equals. We'll just say y is n, or n is y. So y is n. So when I plug in my calculator, I'm going to need n equals equations. Does that make sense? Okay, so I pick a y and I solve each equation to get in the form y equals mx plus b, right? So I want to take these and I want to rewrite them in this form, right? Right? Now my y is my n. So I'm going to take these equations and solve for n. Okay? So we have two equations. 21 equals 0.75p plus 3n. And we have 2n minus p. Oh, that's wrong. 2 equals n minus p. So those are my two equations. And what am I going to solve for? N. Perfect, because y is n. So, can you guys do that?
Yeah.
All right. Solve these two equations for n, please. Take a few moments.
Totally intended to leave my method today.
Oh,
But I'll think about my brother's house.
that's not good.
I think my brother
So your math book has no effect on you going to solve these for n, right?
I finished.
You done already? Man, that's quick. Solving for n. Need help? Let me know. I'm really good at the second one. I just had it open on 3 minutes. That's right. Kind of downflow of the right and sniff markers, right?
You have to.
Alright. Solve for n. Let's do the first one. Andrea, how do I do the first one? Let's say the second one. Let's do this one. How do I do this one?
I just move the P on to the other side.
We move the p over. How do I do that?
Plus.
Plus. You gotta be at p. So 2 plus p equals n. Does that make sense? Now in your calculator, it's a y equals page that you put these into, right? So we probably want our n on the other side. Is it okay that I do this?
Yeah.
As long as I move both to the other side, it's fine. Okay. Now how do I solve this one for n? Good, nice job, Bruno. Subtract 0.75p. So 21 minus 0.75p equals 3n, right? Divide by 3. Okay, so these 3's cancel. We just end up with n. 21 divided 3 is 7. 0.75 divided 3 is 0.25. Okay, we probably want to write it like this. So now we have our two equations, don't we? So what's our next step? Plug them in. No. It's 2. Our next step is to
Oh.
graph. Okay? So we can graph them by hand, or we can graph them using our calculator. And I'm going to make a little prediction here. I bet the graphs look like this. I think I have one right here. You probably have one that goes like... No, you know how I predict
I
it?
just made it.
Y-intercept, right? Cross that 2, positive slope, increasing. Okay? Y-intercept is 7, right? Negative slope, decreasing. That make sense? So I'm betting the graphs look like that. And the reason I figured it out was I used the y-intercepts, 7 and 2. Those are my start at, right? Positive slope, it's going up. Negative slope, it's going down. Right. So how do we plug these into our graphs? Or how do we plug these into our calculator to make graphs? What do we do? Plug them in where? Y equals. Now, do I use the n button on my calculator, or do I use something else? X. So x goes in for n, right? X goes in for n, and p is my, p is what? Y. Okay? Yeah. Because there's less students in here, so it's not loud. The ambient noise in this is high. And you guys always ask good questions. Alright, so my two equations, we had 2 plus p, right? So I should put 2 plus x. Good, don't put n, because if you put an n, your calculator's going to get messed up. Okay? So I put in 2 plus x. Then my other one I put, it was 7 minus 0.25 x, or n, right? So I do 7 minus 0.25 x. Okay? Or not x, was p's. Yeah. It was 7 minus 0.25 p and 2 plus p, because our n's are on the left side. Sorry about that. Okay. So now I hit what? Graph. Oh, it's like it's my job to teach math. Look at that. Pretty proud of that one. Alright. So now the intersection is in my window, right? So if I use the calculator's way to find the intersection, will it work? Yeah. What if the intersection was not in my window? What would I have to do? we had to fix our windows, right?
Yep.
We could hit the window button and change our X min and X max and go on from that. We did it in class the other day. All right. So to find our intersection, you hit second what? Trace. Okay, it's right above the arrows. You with me? You with me? Okay. Hit second trace, right? Then we go down to option 5, which is intersect. Hit enter. 3 times. Now, what I would do, and I know we only have, excuse me, I know we only have 2 curves in here, or 2 lines, but sometimes if you have more than 2 lines in there, if you didn't clear anything out, they might give you an option that's not one of your graphs. So it's always got to do the check. So 2 plus x, that's one of mine. Okay. 7 minus 0.25x, that's one of mine. So that was 2 times. Guess, please. So what's our solution? 4 and 6, right? So that means that this intersection point right here is x equals 4, y equals 6, right? Right? Now, I'm guessing a lot of students either on a test or on a quiz or on a worksheet are going to then say our solution is x equals 4, y equals 6. Is that the solution though? Is that the solution? What's the solution? Nope.
7 minus 1.5.
Are x and y the variables we used?
2 equals 4
Okay.
Wait, no.
Are x and y the variables we used? No.
B equals
So
4.
we have to go back then and put this back in the situation we're looking at, right? X was what variable? N or P? P. Right? Y is what variable? N or P? N. So this means we need 6 notebooks and 4 boxes of pencils. Okay? That's what this means. Okay? And that right there is our solution. Okay? Because x is P and y is N. Okay. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Are there any questions about this problem? No. Okay. Now, on your homework, if you solve one using graphing, please draw me the picture, because that's how you show your work. Okay? You have to show your work to get full credit, so draw the picture. That's how you show your work. Okay? And please draw the picture so it looks nice. You don't have to draw you don't have to get graph paper. You don't have to draw little lines over like this, okay, or lines up and down, but I at least want to see the x and y axis in your 2 lines. Okay? And that'll be enough. All right? All right, any questions?
Can we be approximate? Do we have to say what that is?
It can be approximate. You don't have to do the tick marks if you don't want to. Okay, but at least label the point. Right? And the point better be in the correct quadrant. Okay? So it's like negative 6, 4. Okay? Negative 6 is over here, so the point better be over here. Okay? If it's in the wrong quadrant, then that'll be an issue too.